In this video, I'm going to be going over how you can have fun in your life regardless of your situation. Let's just jump right into it. Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Noah, back again with another YouTube video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's video. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Noah and I help people awaken to their true abilities through wellness and spirituality, aka Noah's Ark. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning into today's video, because in today's video I am going to be talking about how you can have fun in your life, right? Because I think that we are in a time during these days where there's a lot of negativity going on. You know, there's a lot of negativity, there's a lot of darkness. Darkness is something that is very necessary within our life because it allows us to be able to see what it is that is good. And because of that, I wanted to come on here and kind of shine some light on how you can actually have fun in your life, because I think it's important to have fun, right? And I think that a lot of the times people just get so caught up with their life. They think super erratically, right? There's just so much anxiety, and especially with what's going on in the world today, I wanted to come on here to show you how you can have a fun life, because my life is fun and I want to come on here to be able to inspire each and every one of you guys and to kind of show you how you can have fun within your life. You know, when we think of the boringness or things that make our life not really super fun, what do we think of? What's the first thing that comes in mind when we think about something that makes our life boring or something that makes our life unfulfilling, right? Or what's something that a lot of us tend to be stressed out about? The answer to that question for a lot of people is work. Work is a lot of the time something that people are very stressed out about. It's something that affects a lot of us, and this is something that can be a block to what it is that we want to achieve in our life. And it can be something that just by reframing our perspective of work, we can truly change how we view it, and this can ultimately lead us to having a fun life, right? And I want to talk a little bit about it because I think, you know, work is necessary, but a lot of the times, you know, a lot of these jobs that we have nowadays, especially if we're talking about entry-level jobs, you know, I think there's a lot of people who are in fact in entry-level jobs or jobs that don't require a lot of resume, and they're taking on too much of this work identity. The problem with work in general is that a lot of the times people put too much energy into their work. You know, and I understand that for some jobs it's a requirement to put a lot of energy into your work, but I think for a lot of people it's important to not identify so heavily with the work that we're doing. A lot of the times we get so caught up and we get so focused on work, and we end up putting so much attention towards what it is that we need to be doing at work that we end up losing ourselves. You know, we end up losing who it is that we are, and we end up forgetting why it is that we came here in the first place. You know, a little thing that has helped me with work is just changing your perspective. Instead of going into the shift asking, when am I gonna leave? How can I be of service of somebody today? How can I gain the most out of my shift today, right? How can I be a source of light for people who might be struggling around me? You know what I mean? And this is something that's super important, because once we change our frame of mind from when we're getting out to how we can actually help people, then it allows us to view work as fun, right? It allows us to view work as something that we can gain something out of. You know, we can actually enjoy our job when we change our perspective. You know, it's just that simple perspective change that allows us to be like, wow, you know, I don't have to overly identify with my role, right? I don't have to sit there and put all of my energy into something that isn't very, very fulfilling for me. You know, a lot of the times we're in jobs and we know deep down that the job that we're working isn't what we're meant here to do. You know, and so because of that, we need to stop heavily identifying with what it is that we are doing, right? And this doesn't mean to just ignore your bosses. It doesn't mean to disrespect people. You know, I think it's important to do the best that we can while we're on the job, but to not be so heavily identified with it. Now, what does this mean, right? When we aren't heavily identified with it, then we're not taking how everybody views us into consideration. You know, the opinions of other people while we're working on the job shouldn't matter. You know, if we're going in there and we're representing our best self and we're doing what it is that we can to gain the most from that job, then it doesn't matter what someone else thinks about you. It doesn't really matter that much how they view you. What I'm trying to get at is, instead of trying to do all this extra work to make yourself look good, do the best that you can, but don't rely heavily on other people to dictate what it is that you're going to do whenever you're on the shift, right? Just do what's required, do what's necessary. You know, and people will respect you for this, because they will pick up on that energy of just freedom, right? Because there's a freedom type of energy that gets expressed when you're not really focused on how others are viewing you while you're on the shift. You know what I mean? And this can be a way to gain out of work as well, right? Because we identify so heavily with our role, and we're so scared that we're gonna lose it, that we end up not actually being ourselves, you know, and this energy, it ends up, you know, kind of being contagious, you know, and it ends up rubbing on other people, and we don't really want that if it's something that is gonna be a detriment, right? And it can be so detrimental to other people when there is this energy of, oh man, I don't wanna get fired, you know, I need to do this, and this, you know, and that's kind of part of heavily identifying with the role that we have at work. And so I think it's important to view your work as just an aspect of something that you need to be doing right now. You know, if you're trying to pursue something else, or you're trying to make a name for yourself, or you want to pursue a different project, and you know that this work is only temporary, right? We don't have to identify super heavily with it. And this is actually going to release a lot of stress and tension from our body when we aren't constantly thinking about it. And I know a lot of you guys are out there who want to pursue something else, but who are in certain jobs that you're just doing right now, you know, and those are kind of more so the people who I'm talking about. But in order to have a fun life and to gain the most out of your life and to have fun is doing things that you enjoy. Simply put, right? Doing things that give you passion, doing things that make your soul light up, right? From the inside out, and doing things that you just enjoy, right? Doing things that are fun, whether it's reading, whether it's playing music, whether it's singing, dancing, acting, things that you enjoy that you want to pursue. I know that there's a special hobby or a certain thing that you want to pursue that you haven't yet, because you are thinking to yourself, man, not everyone's going to support me. Well, I'm here to remind you that you need to be the #1 supporter. If your family doesn't really agree with what it is that you want to do, it's hard, you know, but it's something that you have to kind of put to the side. You know, you can't really be worried about how others feel about your work, even if it's your family, you know. And I know that sounds a little bit hard, and it is hard, but at the end of the day, you have control of your own life, right? Nobody else can kind of dictate what it is that how you want to gain from your life, right? So nobody can dictate what type of career path that you want to follow. And a lot of successful people go through the same or similar type of stories where their parents don't support what they want to do, you know, but they end up doing said thing that their parents don't agree with anyways, and they end up being successful because they followed their hearts. They followed what their intuition was telling them all along. They knew what it is that they wanted to do. They knew what their true soul's calling was, and they pursued it and they acted on it, right? And this can be the same for you, and it starts with doing things that you enjoy. And when we start to do things that light our soul on fire and that we actually enjoy, then it's gonna boost our mood tremendously. It's gonna allow us to be a lot more friendly, a lot more joyful, and a lot more easy to be around. You know, because we're gonna present this energy of light, right? We are gonna be a source of light for others, you know, and you automatically become inspirational because you are living a life where you're doing things that you want to do, right? And so what I'm trying to say is, if you have a busy schedule or work is kind of eating you up, find things that you enjoy doing, right? And don't focus so heavily on your work, and don't be overly identified with the work that you're doing, because it's only one aspect of your life. We're in a world now where a lot of jobs don't care about you. You know, a lot of bosses, a lot of employees, a lot of higher ups, they don't really care about you. They look at you as a number. And because of that, why should we heavily identify and heavily attach ourselves to this job that we could easily be let go of and be fired from, right? So there's no point in heavily identifying and heavily attaching to this job that doesn't necessarily have your best interests at heart, right? So who has your best interests at heart? You do. You know exactly what it is that you enjoy doing, right? And if you don't, then you can always try different things. You know, there's always room for trying different things and doing different activities. We've come to a time now where there's unlimited career options, right? There's so many different things that you could be doing. And so this is where hope comes in, right? This is where we can choose to be the leaders. We can choose to be the creators of our own reality. And we can choose to lead from the heart. And when we start doing things that we enjoy, our life is going to become a lot more freeing, and it's going to become a lot more fun. A lot of us are going to want to pursue creative projects, and while we're in the midst of pursuing creative projects and doing things that we enjoy, it's going to allow us to better find out what it is that we want to do, but it's also going to allow us to step closer towards our dream life, because we are following our heart, and we are doing things that we enjoy 100%, and we aren't so focused on our job, right? Because our job is only one aspect of who we are. You know what I mean? And so I think that it's important for each and every one of you guys to understand that you have the power to create your own reality. You have the power to inspire others through doing things that you enjoy. Your energy becomes magnetic to people when you are pursuing things that you enjoy, because everyone wants to be on that vibration. Everybody wants to be on that frequency of freedom. And you can achieve this frequency by doing what you love and making sure that your job isn't so heavily attached to your identity. Because our identity is always changing. It's constantly changing. It's constantly evolving. And so your identity around work can shift by understanding that you can go into work and help people. You get that opportunity to be a light in your workplace, right? And once you become a light in your workspace, then your work ends up becoming a lot more fun, right? And this is how I go through work each and every single day, having fun, because I understand that I have the opportunity to provide a service to somebody. I get the opportunity to interact with others. You know, maybe you don't have a job where you interact with others, but you have to understand that there's an aspect of you that is helping, right? Regardless of what you're doing. And so once we understand this, then our life becomes a lot less stressful. And we can start to live a more fun life. And our life becomes a lot more fun when we don't take our job super, super seriously. And because we don't take our job super seriously, it's fun whenever we go on into work. And because we have fun whenever we go into work, it allows us to gain more energy. We gain more energy. We don't lose as much energy whenever we're on the shift. And we can start to pursue things that we actually enjoy outside of work when we let go of all these attachments and we let go of the identity that we hold for ourselves in this job, right? And so I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys gained something. I hope you guys learned something. Wanted to come on here because I was working out the other day and I was like, man, this is a good idea for a video, because I'm like, you know, I enjoy my life to the point where I have fun. And I think it's fair to inspire each and every one of you guys and encourage you guys to step outside of your comfort zone a little bit, pursue things that you enjoy. Do things that you love. You know, this is going to lead you closer towards your dream life. And we all deserve success, abundance, and prosperity. And I'm here to remind you that you are capable of it. It starts with believing in yourself. And so, do you believe in yourself? Because I do. But with all that being said, guys, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns for future videos that you want me to talk about, feel free to comment them down in the description below. You might as well throw me a subscribe as well as a like on this video. With all that being said, my friends, have a wonderful afternoon, morning, or night, wherever you're at. And peace, love, and happiness. Mwah.